Yo, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm finally on summer break, basically. It's just like one more little week of school left, but because I, got everything under control, everything done, I don't have to go that last week. So yeah, back to normal upload schedule. I'm trying to lock in this week since I'm not going to school or have to deal with school. So remember, normal upload schedule Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. And then when summer break officially starts, I'm gonna try to do daily uploads. But if I can't get dailies out, I'm at least gonna try to upload on the upload schedules, if at all possible. But in the last episode, we took down the Giratina cult by saving the world and taking on this quote-unquote god-like creature. But man, today's episode, we will be leaving Winara Town and going through next to border, next to town to make our way through Victory Road. And it has 3 parts. In this episode, we went through the first part of Victory Road. Next episode, we make our way through the next 2 parts. But yeah, you guys, like I said, make sure you guys subscribe so you can get our road to 500 subscribers for 2025. If you guys want to rewatch or miss any episode of this series, make sure you go to the playlist on my channel where you guys can watch all my previous series and this current one. But sure, I'll say you guys, without further ado, let's continue with the video. Alright, you guys, that's wrap today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, be sure to like on the video and subscribe. Next episode, we'll continue making our way to Victory Road and see where we end up after, or what we have to do after we get to the end of Victory Road. And yeah, you guys, I'm definitely gonna try to lock in with the uploads, like I said in the intro. Back to normal upload schedule, and when summer break officially starts, I'm gonna try to upload daily if like at all possible. Maybe I might get busy and won't be able to, but hopefully I don't. And you guys have any tips, tricks, or suggestions for me for the channel, for the video, please let me know in the comments down below. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, we just really want to better the channel for the rest of the year to get our sub goal. And yeah, crazy videos still coming this year. Y'all just stay tuned. Got pretty interesting stuff planned. Just gotta figure out how to work a few things with OBS Studios. Yeah, that's sure, like I said to you guys. So enough yapping, and yeah, without further ado, it's my Thermał, and I'm out. Peace.